What is up, my good friends? It is your old pal Closet Gamer back again for some more Age of Engineering, and today we are going to be looking at HDPE pellets or plastic or whatever you want to bloody call it. But we need it. The only thing that I can actually see that we need it for is sort of going forward is probably the RF Tools Dimension Builder. We need like one sheet of it, and the Solar Neutron Activator as well, which I don't know if we need that, but it sounds important. Everywhere else I can see, and if we look at rods, they don't seem to be used particularly anyway. Plastic sticks, they're used for making fences, but it says in the guide that we need it. I mean, it says it right there in black and white. Look, if we look at mechanical age, also HDPE plastic is something you will need later. So I want to automate this. I think it's probably a good idea to automate it, and the gases as well are going to be important going forward. So that being said, as I said last episode, I've been producing these pumpkins here because if you want to make biofuel, the best way to do it is in a grinder, or a crusher, sorry, and you get 6 for one pumpkin in there. So we need to make a grinder, and we need to make it powered by this stuff, using the mechanism stuff. So let's first of all, let's grab a grinder if we can. Let's see about this guy, this crusher actually. I keep calling it a grinder. So we've got a crusher, that's good. So where should we put our grinder? I'll probably put it, I'm going to need to run some power to this. I think I've got power up to that point there. So let's maybe put it there first of all, and then let's pipe out some stuff into it. Let's get those coming from there, extract always active. Going into here, insert, we need to configure this back face. So it's items in, input, yes, good. So that's going to take in the pumpkins, and when we give it some power, it will start crushing those up. So let's run some power up here, maybe to here, like that, and then let's go up and outside. Right, so our power needs to come along quite a way actually. Let me just do this off cam quick. Right, so that's the power running, and this guy is sort of yomming his way through our pumpkins like no one's business. So the next thing that we need to do in our quest for HDPE plastic is to turn this biofuel into substrate, and we do that in a PRC, and we need to feed it hydrogen and water. So let's get a PRC first of all, and then figure out how the hell we're going to get hydrogen, shall we? So let's say PRC, what do you say? You say we're missing something from the middle. What are we missing? An enrichment chamber. So we can get one of those, that's good. And then pressurized reaction chamber, there we go. And I made some gas chambers and stuff earlier on. So they can go in there, so we can extract from this side. So we want to set that side to blue, which is the output for items, and then this side is the red for items. Not that one. Let's switch to wrench. Get rid of that, and let's put this guy down. So this is going to be extract always active, and this is going to be insert. Good. So that's going to start filling that up. So now the next step is to get hydrogen and water into there. So we can get the water into there no problem by running it from this tank. So if I get my doodah here and then run along here and get some pressurized conduit, have that going, insert on there, and then grab my Yeta wrench and then connect that up. This needs to be insert. That should be filled up. Yeah, filled up with water. Good. So that part's done. Let's tidy this up a little bit. There we go. And have I got some conduits? Yes. Nice. Looking good. So that is getting the water. So all we need now is the hydrogen. So let's look at the hydrogen. If we type in hydrogen on here, the best way to make hydrogen is from water in an electrolytic separator. So I need some electrolytic cores. which are just made using liquid mercury and osmium. So your liquid mercury, I've just got that being fed into my crusher, and the same with my osmium. They're just constantly being fed into there because I couldn't see another usage for it, so I just did that. So let's see about this, shall we? Hydrogen, electrolytic separator. Let's make one of these, and then let's make this guy. Make that one. Electrolytic separator, good. Now these are pretty power hungry from what I understand, and they're quite specific on where they output their gases from. So I think if I put it backwards, that'll probably be better, because I think the hydrogen comes out of this side, and then the oxygen comes out of that side. So that should be okay. Now I just need some gas cable. So if I look at, if we just type in at mechanism, then that should tell me basic pressurized pipe. For this is the one for gas, I believe. Yeah, gases. So let's make. We need to come out of here. We need to fire up our crafting terminal. That's a basic pressurized tube. Let's make 16, and then let's pipe out of here like that. So that's gonna feed that from there to there. So then we just need to run some water to this. So that's facade. So that can go there, that can go there. And then the water can come in underneath. There we go. So water in there. Insert there, and then I just need to get my Yeta wrench back again. And connect that one up to there. So that should now be getting water. Yes, I can see it filling up. And then we just need to run some power onto this guy. There. That should start separating the water. So we're getting oxygen and empty. So I think that's coming into here. Yeah, the hydrogen's being pumped in. So I just need to put some power on this PRC. Then that should start working. It's going to work. Substrate, good. And it's producing ethylene as well at the same time. So at the moment, this machine over here, it's producing loads of hydrogen, loads of oxygen, but it's going to fill up oxygen and stop producing. So what we want to do is dump any excess that comes out of there, for the moment anyway. We're going to use the oxygen later on in this process. So that's pretty good. That's working, no problem. Now at this stage, if we look at HDPE pellets and then at the substrates, what we can see is that if you run substrate through again, then you get 8 times as much. I'm not sure if I want to do that yet. I might need to tweak this setup later on and maybe do that later. So now this guy is making ethylene. We need to turn it into liquid ethylene, which for that we need an R condensator. So let's see about an R condensator, shall we? That's a hard thing to pronounce. So it's a basic empty fluid tank. So let's grab one of those, and it is. We've got enough stuff to make this. Yes, we have. So a rotary condensator. So that can go. That can go there, I believe, and we just need to give it some power, and then some gas cable as well. That's the wrong cable. Let's grab that back. So it's this cable. There, like that. Now I just need some pressurized cable going into this, and then that should come out. So that's going to be what I need to do is configure this for gases. So let's say for gases, it's going to be output dark blue. Oh, so I think what I need to do actually is I need to go to gas, and I need to put auto eject on. So that should now fill that up with ethylene. So this should now be making liquid ethylene. Good, okay. Right, so we've got liquid ethylene coming in. So the liquid ethylene's for that. The oxygen is for that. So the oxygen is going to come from over here. So the oxygen that we're making there, and it will come out of this side here. So let's run some pressurized tube from here, and it can come over this way, and it can sit there. And then this guy is that's going to be liquid. So I tried this earlier using the mechanism pipes, and I couldn't really get them to work, and I had more luck with the Ender IO pipes. So that's pretty good. That worked fine, no problem. So let's have this set to extract, always active. So that's liquid ethylene in, sorry, it's ethylene in there, isn't it? Because it's condensated. So now all we need to do is make another PRC. So let's grab another one of these guys. If we open up this, so another PRC, another one of these enrichment chambers, and then another PRC. And what are we missing from that? Basic tank. So that should be this PRC done. Good. So then we pipe that like that. That should fill those two up. Oh, hang on a minute, it's liquid, isn't it? So let's have all of these as yellow coming in. There we go, that's in there now. So the only thing that we need to add to this now is the substrate. So let's eject out of here. Extract, always active, and then insert on there. Then that should, if I configure this one properly, so that's going to be blue. No, that's for gases, so we need to switch back to items. So that should now work. I'll switch that to blue. I'll switch that to blue and then just have this, so that is red. So that's going to be making us plastic, and the byproduct of plastic is oxygen. But we haven't got any power going to it, so we need to put some power on it. So that to there, then that should start making plastic. And as you can see, the power consumption is pretty hefty. So let's wait and see whether we get one plastic, and then what we'll do is we'll make some upgrades. Good, so we have our first HDPE pellet. Perfect. That's fully automated as well, it's fully self-sustaining. Yes, very good. All made from pumpkins. Plastic from pumpkins, eh? Who would have thought it? So let's make some power upgrades now, shall we? Let's automate some power upgrades. So these power upgrades, speed upgrades first of all. Let's see about, actually cancel that because I want to make this into a recipe. Let's cancel that, let's switch back to this one. Let's have these going in there like that, and then let's have the energy upgrades as well. Bosh. Right, okay, let's put those in our molecular assembler. Let's put them there like that. Now let's order some speed upgrades. So speed upgrades, let's grab 50 of those guys. That'll take a little while to craft. And then let's grab some energy upgrades as well. Let's grab 50 of those. Wonderful. So they're going to take a little while to craft. I've already got 28. Blimey. That didn't take long at all. I must have had some alloys in stock. So I don't really want to put the speed upgrades in there without the energy upgrades, otherwise it'll crash the entire thing. So I'll wait for the energy upgrades and I'll be back in a sec. Right, so our efficiency upgrades and our speed upgrades are done. One of the things that seems to be quite apparent already is that power is a massive, massive issue. And so what I'm going to try and do is maybe look at a gas burning generator, and I believe these run off ethanol. I'm not sure if it's ethanol or liquid ethanol. Maybe someone can leave me a comment and let me know. But I think it's this one, and probably this one that's draining all of our power. So let's look at upgrades for this guy. Let's put some energy upgrades in here. Let's put some energy upgrades in here, try and make these a bit more efficient. Just to hold out on plastic. We've already got 22 HDPE pellets, which might even be enough anyway, I'm not quite sure. This one is okay, it's just really, really slow. This one is okay, it's actually probably going faster than what we need it to go. This is, yeah, it's probably the processing of this one, so we should maybe put some energy upgrades in there and some speed upgrades, and that will make the ethanol a bit faster. And we're probably getting more substrate than what we need as well, actually, so we've got a full stack of substrate in there. So I'm tempted to maybe start voiding some of the substrate if we don't need it all. Maybe I'll put a trash can there and set it to a lower priority. Let's see if we've got a trash can, shall we? Trash. Got a trash can there. Let's set that to priority insert, but priority less than the one that's next to it. So the stuff will go in there first, and then if it can't go in there, then it'll go in there. So that should empty all of that junk out. So then that'll start producing more liquid ethanol to be turned, sorry, ethylene, which will be turned into liquid ethylene there. So then we probably want to put some form of speed upgrade on this one. So let's see how much that speeds that up. Good. Okay, that seems to be... How's this one doing now? It's just kind of just running at a bit of a loss. Now it's running at a loss because it's getting more substrate maybe. And it's low on oxygen as well. I want to disable that dumping. And maybe... So the energy upgrades in here, we've got 10 times energy upgrade in there. So this is really power hungry by the looks of things. So that's a bit of a problem. So let's look at this gas burning generator. It's quite a complicated recipe actually. I was just looking at it between waiting for those things. So it's a biogas engine. So I'm not sure if we've got... can we make those gears? Can we make bronze gears? Make copper gears. Is it bronze gears, was it? Bronze gears, yeah, we can make bronze gears, that's okay. So let's make 2 of these. They'll be stamped using our stamping machine, so they shouldn't take more than a couple of seconds, I imagine. So there's those 2. And we should be able to make that if we grab a piston. So biogas engine, lovely. And then what's this? Gas turbine. Fucking hell, what's all this crap? Windmills? Tech Reborn windmills. And Tech Reborn generator. So 2 furnaces. Should give me 2 windmills. Sorry, 2 generators I should say. And we need the other thing now. What was that? So we need some more re-batteries and another machine block. So let's grab a re-battery. Just one of those. Good, so we should be able to make that one now. And now can we make this doodad? This windmill? 2 windmills, good. So now we maybe should be able to make this gas turbine. What are we missing on there? Invar. So that's going to give us the invar that we need anyway. So that should be okay now, I think, in terms of this guy at least. So let's grab this, and then let's say, can we make this one? Yes, gas turbine, good. So we've got that, we've got the gas turbine. Now gas turbine controller, what the shit is all this stuff? So this is from advanced generators. Redstone iron wiring. Christ, I'm fed up of bloody running out of sticks. Make 100 sticks. Just so I never have to worry about sticks again. Right, so let's make these. That's that bit done. What about this? Iron windings. And now iron frames. I need 4 of those. And then control circuit, which is this guy. So we can make that as well. So that's that one done. Good. So that's from advanced generators, so that's quite interesting. Let's chuck him in there. Now can we make, what's this, osmium? And I think we should be good to go apart from this centre one. Good, gas burning generator. So maybe this will give us a bit more power for our system. And I think this runs off ethylene, maybe? So we've got liquid ethylene coming out of here. But I think it's ethylene gas. So maybe if we have... So this is our ethylene coming out. Yes, ethylene's coming out. So maybe as a quick test, we can just put it there for the moment, and we can then get our basic pressurized tube and have that coming into here. So it's getting ethylene in there, that's good. And it's producing quite a lot of power by the looks of things. So now if we get some... what I did, I taught my system how to make the cables. So let's make some more of these cables. So I think the power for this comes out the front by the looks of things. Yes, I can hear some stuff kicking off. So that's producing quite a bit of power for us, I think. It's munching through that ethylene pretty quick. But the buffers on these all seem to be pretty full, actually. Even this one's really full. So what we need to do is increase our output of ethylene. So let's see about speed. I've got speed and yeah. I can't really produce ethylene much faster unless I get another PRC processing biofuel. So that seems to be running quite efficiently now, so I just put some upgrades in there, which has sped up the production of hydrogen, which has now sped up the production of this stuff. So I think the one that's lagging behind now is this crusher. So it's a bit of a game of cat and mouse at the moment. So put these speed upgrades in there. That should speed up the crusher a bit. And then we just need to put these energy upgrades in there as well. Excellent, so we've got a stack of HDPE pellets there, and we've got this gas burning generator which seems to be doing the trick for us, no problem keeping these guys running at full tilt without any issues. So that's pretty good. So the next thing I want to look at, probably in the next episode, is the creative fluid tanks. So these need to be filled with all manner of nonsense. So let's have a quick look at the guide, because it's further on in the guide, but my other guide that I'm following tells me that I should start automating these now. So I'm just going to have a quick look at these now. The 5 gases that we need are clean osmium slurry, hydrogen chloride, sodium, ethylene gas and DT fuel. We'll probably look at those maybe in the next episode, as well as maybe automating draconic cores as well, because we're going to need loads and loads of those going forward. This is quite a nifty looking little setup actually, isn't it? I might have to build this room a bit bigger and spread it out a bit more, just so you can see everything working. So for the rest of this episode, well, first of all, I'm not buying the fact that JEI says that I only need that plastic for those things. It seems a bit suspect for me, especially as the guide specifically mentions it. So I'm going to go off and do a little bit of research, and I'll be back in a sec, and I might do a few tweaks to my setup here. So I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, my friends, we are back. And do you want the good news or the bad news? So the good news is, anyway, that our setup here is working really well. I've switched it all off because it is causing massive frame rate losses when this thing is switched on. I mean, look at this. If I put my overlay on, look at my frame rates. It's dropped. It drops, it goes crazy low, and then when I switch this guy on as well, it goes even worse. 20 frames per second. I can't be dealing with that. So if you've got any ideas of how I can fix that, then that would be very welcome. I think the only thing that I could probably do maybe is to either muck about with a config file, or maybe move all this stuff over to a different dimension, which is, you know, it's a possibility. It runs on its own power system anyway, so that's pretty good. So this is working really well. I've put upgrades in all of these now, and energy upgrades and speed upgrades. So this is making plenty of hydrogen now, and the output of this, the amount of what is it that runs in here? The amount of ethylene that this is producing is actually, it's sort of backing up in here. So I've essentially got this tank dumping any excess, otherwise it sort of stops this one from working because the output gets full up. So that's pretty good. That's working really well. And I've done the same for the oxygen on this guy. So if the oxygen here gets full up, then it causes a problem. So I've got it coming back out and then into this overflow gas tank here, which is dumping any excess. But these, you know, these oxygen tanks, they're pretty good. They're full up. 64,000, I suppose that's millibuckets. Yes, maybe. So that is really good. It's all working really well. So the other good news is that I've been leaving this running, and we now have 2,876 plastic. And let's switch this on, because I just want to show you how fast this thing is when it's all sort of running at full tilt. So let's get this all going. So it's producing plastic at a phenomenal rate. I mean, look at that. It's cracking on with the plastic, no problem. So let's all switch it all back off again, otherwise we're going to be in lag city. If we set those to higher, then that'll switch off. The other thing that I wanted to show you was that using your configurator, if you set it to configure energy, then you can set these guys to be sensitive to a redstone signal. See it down, it says down there, redstone sensitivity off and on. Which means that you can control them with a switch, so you can control whether your power comes out or not. So that's pretty good. So you can turn everything off. So I'll probably use that to turn this off in future rather than individually control them, or moving maybe over to a mining world. Anyway, the bad news is that I have been looking at this, the creative vending upgrade, which is a little way off, but we need to start thinking about these things, don't we? So if we have a look at this creative vending upgrade, then the reason why we need so much bloody plastic is these basic bins are filled with 4,096 of them. But that, at the moment, that's okay because that's in reach. I'll probably just leave this running overnight and that'll do that. But the other thing is the amount of malianin, something like that, malianin that we need, 4,096 of those. But we can automate that. We know how to do that. The amount of iridium that we need is pretty tragic as well. And scented panellings as well, which is going to rely on bees, isn't it, and all that bollocks. So there's octuple compressed cobblestone. Now, in terms of cobblestone, actually, I've left this running for ages, and let's see what level we're at with cobblestone. So, compressed, double compressed. We've got quadruple compressed, quintuple. We've got septuple. We're up to septuple compressed, and we've got one of those. So we're a little way off that, but I've just been leaving that running. And it's only running off one cobblestone generator at the moment, so I could augment that with this one that I've got here. That's not a problem. Now these guys are the ones that I've kind of just lost the will to live looking at these because of all this shit. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Basic bin. Not basic bin. Creative capacitor banks. Quantum generator, which is also made out of creative capacitor banks. So we're going to need tons and tons of stuff. I thought that we were sort of, about 3/4 of the way through this pack, but I think we're only just getting started, to be honest. I mean, these are all nuts. Absolutely mental. I don't know what the guy was thinking. Yeah, these are all filled with the gases that I mentioned earlier. These are filled with empowered oil. And what's this now? Advanced fluid tank. Empty. That's okay. We can at least make those. So lots to be thinking about and lots to be getting on with. So next episode, we're getting kind of ahead of ourselves anyway. We need to get into Draconic Evolution next episode, that's for sure. Because the amount of power that I think we need to dump into these guys is going to be fairly insane, I believe. Yes. And we need to set up a wither farm as well to get these nether stars because these are going to cost a bloody fortune. So starting to lose the will to live, but we will continue. And what we'll probably do, actually, we'll get into Draconic Evolution. We'll set up some Draconic Evolution stuff. Maybe I'll set it up in my space base. I'm not quite sure. Or maybe down here. I'm not quite sure about that either. And the other thing that I need to do, actually, is I need to set up an advanced reactor as well. So that's pretty good. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. I've set up a Discord server, actually, if you want to come and join it. If you go onto my channel and look at the homepage, you'll see there's a link there now for the Discord server. Come on there, have a chat with me, it'd be great. I've got some little roles and stuff set up, so you could be a tree puncher, or you can be a crafter, no, a builder, or you can be an architect if I know you quite well from forums and stuff. I'm probably looking for a moderator actually as well. So if you're interested, then please give me a shout, tap me up on there, and we can have a chat and stuff. That'd be great. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, my friends. It's getting real. The amount of crafting we've got to do is going to be insane over the next sort of 20 or so episodes, but I'm looking forward to it. I've enjoyed this one actually. This has been really good. I like the chemistry side of things. I like this mod. It's really good. It's a shame it's a bit laggy for me. I don't know what your experience has been with it, but I like the science side of things. I like the chemistry side of things. So I'm looking forward to having vast networks of piping all of these different chemicals around the place, and combining them in different ways and separating them in different ways and condensing them and that sort of stuff. I love it. It's great. It's really, really good. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, as I've said probably 6 times now. And I will see you guys next time. And I will hopefully, if you're a loyal viewer, then I will see you on my Discord channel. I'll leave that with you. If you're a loyal viewer, then you'll be there, won't you? I'll see you soon. See you later. Bye.